Hi, my name is Dr. Nelson Goldfarb. I practice integrated and holistic medicine, and I've been in the medical field for over 20 years. Besides just helping my patients with chronic illness, one of the things that I like to do and I'm really passionate about is helping my patients go on their own personal growth journey towards total wellness. And the framework that I use to help guide my patients is the same framework that any one of us can use in any area of growth that we want to be involved with. It can be personal growth, growth in our businesses, in relationships. It doesn't matter. These ideas can help guide us on the growth process. And I'd like to share with you today these ideas so you can incorporate them into your own life. The metaphor that I like to use that really encapsulates this idea comes from my spiritual tradition. And I absolutely love this because it really helps us understand the growth process. And it goes like this. Above every blade of grass is an angel that stands above it, hits it over the head, and tells it to grow. Now let's analyze this metaphor and let's see what are the components about this that help us understand the growth process. And I like to describe it in 3 words because it's 3 stages. It's inspiration, motivation, integration. The angel represents the spiritual essence of anything in the world, a person or even an inanimate object. The spiritual essence is the potential that any one of us can reach in our lives. The angel represents that vision of greatness that we can become. It's the end that we start with at the beginning. And so we all need inspiration that sort of shows us what we can become and where we need to go on our journey. Now, I've been blessed with 6 kids, and oftentimes we go on family vacations. And can you imagine having our whole van packed full of stuff and all 8 of us are in the car and all of a sudden the kids are like, okay, where are we going to go? And we're like, I don't know. We don't have a destination. It's not going to be for a very happy trip. We have to have a vision of where we want to get to if we really have any hope of getting someplace where we aren't right now. So the angel represents that vision of where we want to go. It's the goal in mind that we have to start off with. And that requires inspiration. So step 1 in any growth process is that inspiring moment that shows, oh, that's what I can be. I can be something much more than what I am right now. And that inspiration is what can lead us to the next step. And the next step in the growth process is motivation. Well, the motivation is that's the angel hitting the grass on top of the head. Now, if we think about it, we might question that. That doesn't seem very reasonable. We have to get hit over the head. Well, the answer is yes, sometimes we do. The idea in physics of entropy is the idea that everything sort of tends towards randomness. And we all struggle with this. We all struggle against laziness. We struggle against inertia. And sometimes we have to be hit out of that complacency and say, you got to move, you got to get someplace else, you got to get up and go. And sometimes that's a little painful. It sometimes doesn't feel so good. Getting hit over the head is not really a pleasant experience, but sometimes we need that. And that's step 2 in the growth process. I might be really happy where I am right now. I have a vision of what I could become, but my life is pretty good. I feel happy. I don't really feel a great need to move. So we need a wake-up call. Now, let's say we struggle with driving too fast, and we get away with it for quite a while. But then one day we get pulled over by the state trooper and he hands us a ticket, and sometimes we think, oh, maybe I'm not driving the way I should be. Maybe I'm not being safe. So the ticket is a wake-up call that maybe I need to change what I'm doing right now. That's step number 2, the motivation. First we have to have that vision of greatness. That's the inspiration. Then we have to have the motivation that sort of gets us out of that complacency and that laziness. And then step 3. Step 3 is integration. Integration is taking all the tools, all the resources that we have right now and integrating them in such a way where I can use all those tools to move to the next level and to go on that process. I have the angel standing above the grass with the vision, getting hit over the head, the motivation, and now I can begin moving step by step. But I need tools to do that. What are those tools? That's all the knowledge that we have. It's all the innate qualities in our character traits that we've been blessed with or that we've worked on and the tools that we've developed in our lives. And we take all that and we integrate them in such a way where we can actually move forward. So the metaphor I like to use for that is a carpenter. A carpenter has a toolbox, and the bigger that toolbox the carpenter has, the more beautiful piece that he can sculpt and he can put together. And whenever he has a tool, he keeps it clean, he keeps it safe, he keeps it in a place where he knows where it is, and he takes good care of it. But he's constantly adding to his toolbox. The more he adds, the better job he can do. And so we can do the same thing. We can add tools to our toolbox through learning, through reading, going to seminars, talking to people, practicing. Inspiration is that idea that lets us know what we can become. And that inspiration often has to come from an external source, through people that we meet, mentors, friends, family, books that we read, stories. It could be anything that's inspiring, that gives us a vision of something greater than ourselves, something that we can become that I am not right now. It's our potential. And the motivation is sometimes that wake-up call. And if we don't get that from someplace else, I do that for my patients oftentimes, but you can ask somebody to do that for you. A friend, a family member, somebody who really cares about you. You can say, get up, you can be better, you can move, you can change. Oftentimes we don't do that because we're afraid. We're afraid of what might happen when we take that step. If my life is okay, or even if it's not, maybe I'm afraid that if I take a step in a different direction, maybe it won't be as good as it is right now. And we have to take that step out of our comfort zone. We need that motivation. Ask for help. Ask people in your life to help you with that. Don't wait for the state trooper to pull you over. And then integrate. Take all the tools that you have right now and constantly add to it and become something that you aren't, something that you can become greater, something that's more than you are right now. Inspiration, motivation, integration. Above every blade of grass, it's an angel that stands above it, hits it over the head, and tells it to grow. Dream big. You can become awesome. Whatever you dream you can be, you can get there if through inspiration, motivation, integration. Thanks for listening, and make it a great day.